Alright, so the Lowe's delivery guy just dropped off our shed. We officially have our shed, so we can get that put together here very soon. We'll be putting this up in the cold and snowy weather, unfortunately, but we got a jet. But we are going to do a quick job inside. We're going to start working on the trim on the upstairs.
Maybe we're made for a time like this, counting each breath so we wouldn't miss it. Don't close your, don't close your, undecided in all our trouble. Say goodbye when you know I'd follow. Don't close your, don't close your eyes. All said and done, get your breath somehow. No, we're not the only ones watching now. Don't close your eyes. Under something new, we'll say impossible isn't far away. So
we have every board that will have a receptacle in it, cut out, measured out. So we got all of that done. So now Vanessa's just gonna go ahead and stain, pre-stain, get all those done, and then next time we're here we'll be able to hang these. We got to pick up a couple more 1x8s because we weren't anticipating using the 1x8s alongside the drywall. So we got to get one for there, alongside that drywall, there, along here, along that wall, and then here and here.
stay with me, here with me, stay with me, here with me. I stumbled around my words that day. Anybody out there listening?
Hey guys, we're back at the cabin. Another day has gone by, but our list of things to do doesn't feel like it's dwindled anymore. Today I am going to work on finishing up the trim boards upstairs. So that's going to be a project within itself because there's a lot of spacing in between where the stud walls are and where the trim needs something to attach to. So we've got to put some kind of backer board in there. So we've got to kind of figure out what we need for that. While Daryl's kind of working on that, I'm going to work on polyurethaning all of the trim boards, and then hopefully we'll be able to possibly start the kitchen floor today. Kind of just depends how far we get. So let's go ahead and start.
Stay with me, here with me, stay with me, here.
So here is our stud brace right here. But when we put the trim up, I'll show you this for example. We're not using this piece, but we're using something larger. But you can see when you line this up, there's no backer board here for the trim to be nailed into. So we've got to figure out how much space we need here, maybe double up some 2x4s. So that way when we install the trim, we have something to nail the trim into that will keep it in place.
So the stain we used on these walls, we tried to match the flooring the best we could. I believe the name of the stain is called Early American. And the reason we went with that stain, because it really did match the floor pretty well. And for some reason, none of the boards took like that. But yeah, look how well that board matches the floor in comparison to this wall. But yeah, it's just funny how these boards stain differently than these boards. And this is pine, that's pine, and that's pine. You can really see how well that board matches. It's pretty incredible. You can barely tell there's even a piece of trim there.
So we definitely learned from our mistakes. This time we are staining and polyurethaning before we hang the trim. Because last time it really, really kicked us in the butt. If you cut that out of 45, it'll butt up flush.
The blade on our chop saw isn't big enough to 45 the board standing upright, so I had to get janky and use the jigsaw to cut the rest of it. But it should work. We'll just have to sand it down a little bit. You can see there's a bulge in the center. Now Vanessa's just measuring for the next 45.
Very scientific.
Don't want you passing by. Stay with me, here with me.
About 62 inches. So we had to make this cut going this way a couple times. The perfect 45s weren't cutting it. I don't think this wall here is a perfect 90-degree angle. So we had to cut it a little over 45 degrees, but I think we got it. I think we're gonna have to kind of mess with it when we staple it in, but it should look pretty good once we get it all stained up. We are here bright and early this morning. The window guy should be here any minute. So he's gonna replace this one, that one, this one here, as well as that one.
Maybe we're made for a time like this, counting each breath so we wouldn't miss it. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Undecided in all our trouble. Say goodbye when you know what to follow. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. All said and done, get your breath somehow. No, we're not the only ones watching now. Don't close your eyes. Under something new, we'll say impossible isn't far away. So don't close your eyes. Don't want you passing by. Stay with me, here with me.
Alright, we got all the trim boards that we cut with the receptacle holes along the tongue and groove wall. We got all of those up, and then we purchased more 1x8s the other day and we got them stained up. We gotta let the stain dry, and then we'll put a coat of polyurethane on it, and then we will trim the rest of the upstairs. And the window guy came today, replaced all these windows, which is great. And now I think I'm gonna go upstairs, and Vanessa and I are gonna assemble some furniture that we got.
Won't close my eyes. Gotta feel it all slip away. Talk through the night, won't you find our way through? And don't close your eyes. Don't want you passing by. Stay with me, here with me. And time is on our side.
Alright, so we're pretty much done with all the trim in this room and in here. For now, we just have to leave this space open until we get the wood stove installed. And then in here, we got most of the trim done. We just got to get that piece that goes up against the wall done, but we're gonna wait till we refinish the stairs to install that piece. But we got all the trim down there, trim up top in. We just got to get the receptacles in and whatnot. But I think it looks pretty good. I think that's all we're gonna get done up here for the next few days. We're gonna transition and start working on the kitchen and bathroom area. So we just gotta lay the corkboard down here, and then we'll get all the wiring and stuff wired up for the heated floors. And then we're gonna insulate the walls, finish insulating the ceiling, and then we're gonna start laying the tongue and groove on the walls, the ceiling. And then once the corkboard's in, we can tile the floor and start kind of putting this kitchen area back together. And once we're done in here, we got to tongue and groove on the walls, tile the floor, and then we also got to tile the shower here. So that's what we're going to be working on next, but I think that's a wrap for this video.